So all of the content that I consume, whether that be books, podcasts, YouTube videos, they all echo the same idea that time is the only currency that truly matters. We're all born with a relatively equal amount of time, and you can't get it back once you spend it. So regardless of how busy you are, almost all of us waste away our time on our phones, especially with the new insurgence of short-form content, whether that be on TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts. A lot of us are wasting away our time consuming meaningless content. I was definitely in the same boat. I managed to delete TikTok, but I think it was mainly because I knew I could get that same thing from Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. But I made the excuse that Instagram and Snapchat I couldn't delete because I needed to keep up with friends. YouTube, I was consuming like long form educational content, so I was getting value out of it, right? But no, all in all, I was spending way too much time on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and even like Snapchat Stories. So this is mainly where the idea for the dopamine detox came in. So what is a dopamine detox and why is it beneficial? Dopamine is a molecule in our brain that plays a vital role in our brain's reward system, meaning that it's responsible for pleasure, motivation, and reinforcement. A dopamine detox is when someone deliberately abstains from activities that release unearned dopamine. These activities include using social media, TV, movies, video games, eating junk food, basically any unhealthy activity. So I actually learned this specific thing from Dr. Andrew Huberman of Stanford University. He has a podcast, which I'd suggest everyone should go and watch. But anyways, we have a baseline of dopamine, and these activities that I just listed cause a spike in dopamine. And so every time you do one of these spikes, you're marginally increasing that baseline. Therefore, the goal of a dopamine detox is to reduce this baseline back to as normal or as low as you can. You should therefore engage in activities with delayed gratification during a dopamine detox. You still get to receive that dopaminergic reward, you just have to force yourself to do something healthier to receive that reward. So examples of this would be reading, meditation, exercise, and spending quality time with family and friends. And the length of a dopamine detox doesn't matter. You could do a month like I did, or you could just choose a day that you don't do any of these activities. Regardless, you're lowering that baseline of dopamine, and it's going to lead to increased focus, motivation, and creativity. So now I'm going to talk about my particular challenge. So I decided to do February, in part because it only has 28 days, shorter than the normal 30 or 31, so I got to cut a couple days off. The first step was to delete any of these time-sucking apps from my phone. So mainly Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, any of the dating apps, and then any games from my phone. This left me with the Kindle as my main source of entertainment if I ever wanted to be on my phone. And this is a quote that I love. So Charlie Munger once said that as long as I have a book in my hand, I don't feel like I'm wasting any time. So I found this particular reading benefit twofold. First, I did read 2 books this month, which is probably a little more than normal, but not by too much. The second thing, and the main thing, is that I kind of got tired of reading fairly quickly, and I just put my phone away, and I realized that I didn't want to stay on it. That was until I allowed myself to play chess. I figured it was fine, because chess is a game that enhances your creative and your memory abilities. But, I was wrong. So in the first 2 weeks of my February challenge, I was only spending like an hour and a half on my phone each day, which compared to like the 6 that it was beforehand, it was fantastic. But once I started playing chess, that jumped quickly back up to 3. But frankly, I wasn't playing that much chess on my phone. I was spending a lot of time playing it on my computer. I'll talk more about this, though, in the next section. I didn't find this very hard since I already didn't have much time allocated for those things anyways. I have a pretty busy schedule. Super Smash Bros. Was the one thing that I did spend a decent amount of time on in January, just playing with my roommates. But it was fairly easy to tell them that I just can't play for a month. And the last thing is that I had no junk food. While I went out on a couple of occasions with friends or family, I didn't go to McDonald's or some other fast food chain. My diet consisted of 3 main meals that I had pretty much every day, and I felt so much better and so much healthier this month because of that. So what were some of the alternative activities that I chose to do this month? The main 2 was chess and guitar. hence the thumbnail of this video. Guitar I recently picked up again. I had played it a little bit in the past, but I realized now that I actually really enjoy playing an instrument and I'm going to keep up practicing consistently. So apart from that, I continued doing a lot of the healthy things that I was already doing. I just increased the intensity a little bit. For example, deliberate cold exposure is something that I've been doing. I've been taking cold showers every morning. I continued doing the cold showers, but I actually went out and bought a chest freezer that I converted into a cold plunge. And so now, I get to sit in 45-degree water every morning instead of just the 70-degree water of the cold shower. That's going to be the topic of the video next week, though. I've also been working out pretty consistently for a while, but the free time from this challenge actually allowed me to be a little bit more consistent. I don't think I had a week where I didn't work out at least 5 times. Lastly, meditation is something that I've had as a part of my nightly routine for a little while now, but the extra time from this challenge allowed me to have a couple extra long sessions, which is actually much more beneficial than the short 5 to 10 minutes that I've been consistently doing. There were a couple other things that I abstained from this month that I'm choosing not to elaborate on, but we all know that there are things that we shouldn't be doing or doing as often as we are. By having a challenge where I can't do it for a month, it made it much easier to quit, which brings me to my next point. What did I learn? So the main thing that I learned, and it might only pertain to me, is that doing 0 of a particular activity is much easier for me than moderation. For example, with Super Smash Bros., telling my roommates I'm not going to play at all is much easier than saying I'll just play less. So upon reflection, I know I watched a movie with my friends, I watched a couple non-educational YouTube videos, I went home to my parents and had like a Diet Coke or a coffee, and even though I hadn't explicitly said I can't have caffeine, I knew that it was cheating. I listened to music, which, kinda is cheating for this challenge. The main cheat this month, though, was definitely chess, like I said I'd get back to. I wasted so much time playing chess this month, and it allowed me to procrastinate on things that I had to get done, which was kind of the whole point of the challenge. But what I did learn is that I'm someone that needs to create rules for myself. So I can't just tell myself, oh, I need to play less chess. Like, I actually need to tell myself I can only play chess against people in real life, not just randoms on chess.com. That way I would have ended up playing a pretty normal amount of chess. In the future, I think I'd much prefer just to do a week where I go all out. That means no cheating whatsoever, no caffeine, no music, no movies with friends. By making it a more attainable time period, I think I'll be able to actually do it and I'll get much more out of it. I gained so much insight about myself this past month, but I really think that just doing the week where I'm completely bored, I don't have an option to do anything but read and work, I think I'd learn a lot more about myself and I'd get a lot more done. So going forward, I'm definitely going to keep all the apps deleted, and I'm going to try and be conscious of any time that I'm doing a dopamine-inducing activity. I think that social media and other apps like that are the main form of distraction in our society, and unnecessary distraction is what keeps people from attaining their goals. I'm the perfect example of that. I've been wanting to write and post things online for quite a while now, and only once I did this monthly challenge have I started to actually post. And so now this is my 4th video. I feel like I'm marginally improving each time. I'm pretty excited about it. So if you liked it, like and subscribe is the thing. And so that's why you should bore yourself for a month.